All right, folks, we are back, and we are back with another win from the Rams. The first time all year they have gone over 500 on the season. They're now 7-6 after beating the Super Bowl contender Buffalo Bills in a game that I think would be fair to say is the game of the year. What an incredible performance from everybody. Sean McVay, defense, they had their issues, but they still made some stops. They had some key moments. This is one of those games where, you go back to Monday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was back in 2018. And in that game, there was a lot of points, but the defense still made plays in crucial moments in this game. Well, they made some plays in this one, albeit they gave up a lot of explosives. In addition to that, special teams unit, incredible performance by them. Whether it was fielding the kickoff or blocking a punt, the special teams unit was great today, and they're a big reason why they won this game. But how about this offense? I mean, first off, props to the Bills. This is a Super Bowl team. I don't care what anyone says. I think this team is probably the best team in the AFC. Josh Allen is just unbelievable. 6 touchdowns today. To lose a game when you quite literally scored 6 touchdowns. I mean, Bleacher is showing 51.9 fantasy points. Josh Allen was incredible in this game. Khalil Shakir was great in this game. Mac Hollins, they had a lot of things, go their way on the offensive side. What was surprising is there was not one sack in this game and not one turnover. And this was just it's weird because it really wasn't sloppy. This was just really good football. And I think this changes everything. The narrative is completely shifted. The Rams, Matthew Stafford just played out of his mind in this one. Kyron Williams added 2 touchdowns. Stafford added 2. Puka Nacua had a touchdown. Cooper Kupp had a touchdown. They both were incredible. Puka Nacua is one of the best receivers in the National Football League, and it's not even remotely close. I mean, he's easily in the top 10. I think the real question is he top 5? And at least in his circumstance and the position that he's in, the role that he plays, because obviously there are wide receivers that play a little bit different roles. They're not used in, the motion that the Rams use, but it's time to stop acting like what Puka Nacua is doing isn't absolutely insane. It's on the level, quite honestly, of a Justin Jefferson, a trailblazer coming out of nowhere and just being what you expect, what you don't expect. Now, don't get me wrong, Justin Jefferson was a first-round pick, but no one thought he would come out and immediately be the best receiver in the league. Well, now you got Nacua, and Nacua is right on his tail there, just every single week. Huge performances, yards after the catch galore, broken tackles, crazy contorted catches. How many times do you see Puka Nacua make some crazy catch near the sideline? It is just every single game, and sometimes it's twice or 3 times a game. Nacua is incredible. He really is. I thought Tutu Atwell stepped up big time in this one. DeMarcus went down with an injury. He came back. I hope he's okay. That really sucked. And by the way, that call was terrible to call a double pass interference on offense and defense, because that's a 44-yard penalty that really only affects the Rams, because by them playing it again after the Rams caught it, that just really hurts them. So I really got to give a lot of credit to Tutu Atwell. I thought Colby Parkinson was really good blocking. I thought Corum had his moments in this game as well. Nacua had 2 touchdowns, One of them was rushing. But I was just really impressed with this team, just their ability. Look, they played this type of game last year, not on this level, maybe not on this level. Points-wise, definitely not. There was not 86 points in the game. But do not forget, right around this time last year, they played the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, in the cold, in the pouring rain, and everyone said they're just going to run the football. This is just going to be an ugly ground game attack. And that's how it started. But then all of a sudden it turned into a little bit of a shootout, went to OT, and they lost. That was kind of this game, except this team being 6-6. And I had said they were going to lose this game and they were going to win out. They win this game. They beat the best Bills iteration of their team under the Sean McDermott era. And furthermore, not only did they win, but they controlled the majority of the game. They had what it actually felt like to hold on to a lead and feel at one point or another, hey, the Bills could come and take this thing. And they stood their ground. I am so impressed. Sean McVay, look, I'll say this. 54-51 on Monday Night Football was a classic. The points scored incredible. Jared Goff was incredible. Patrick Mahomes was incredible. It was so much fun. But do you know what? As much fun as 54-51 in 2018 was on Monday Night Football in Week 11 against the Kansas City Chiefs, this is the best win in the Sean McVay era, regular season-wise. You can't take away any of the playoff games. They do not stack up to this, right? They're just on another level. But come on. Is this not the most impressive win of the Sean McVay era in a regular season game? This is incredible. This is a team. Here's the difference, right? When you talk about the Chiefs game and this game, both teams were top-notch teams in the AFC. The difference is the Chiefs were going up against a dominant Rams team too. Both teams got to their conference championship game, okay? This was a 6-6 Rams team that at no point has ever shown this year. Their best game was a 30-20 win against Minnesota in a game that Minnesota had the ball at the end and had a chance to go down the field and score. This is the best win in the Sean McVay era from a regular season standpoint. Best regular season win. Unbelievable. It is absolutely incredible that they won this game. And you know what? This actually means more than you think. I was out there in LA. It's why I wasn't here to do the post-game show after the Eagles. But I was out there in LA for that 37-20 game. Eagles and Bills right now, they look like two Super Bowl teams. And the Rams, and here's the kicker. The Rams struggled in that game, but they had their moments and they got off to a good start. The Rams are now 2-0 when they get off and they score a touchdown on the opening drive this year. They just don't score opening drive touchdowns. Well, they did today. They set the tone. McVay took the points. Even though he really wanted to go for it, I'm sure he was smart and took the points. He kicked the 20-ish yard field goal and added 10 onto the board, knowing full well that this is an explosive team that can match you. Well, guess what? I think by him kicking the field goal instead of going for it, I think it kept them in this game. I think it kept control of this game. But really, anytime you have a punt block, you can win any game in this league. This is the NFL. It's any given Sunday. When you block a punt the way the Rams did, it really changes the complexion of a game. It changes the whole dynamic. So, I mean, any team, when you look at upsets, those upsets normally happen because of turnovers or something like a blocked punt, right? Blocked field goal, whatever. The Rams had that. Aside from that moment, neither team committed an error, right? No fumbles, no interceptions. This was a one for the books, man. And I have to mention it because I know people are going to want to talk about it. I have to. No sacks, by the way, in this game, like I mentioned earlier. I have to mention it. The Rams overcame having Craig Rolstad as their official. For those of you who don't know, I have been calling out Craig Rolstad since he officiated the Seattle game in 2022. Look, the Rams were just playing for pride in that game. It was Baker Mayfield's last game of his Rams career. And that game just had so many egregious calls for somebody who was a native to Seattle to, referee that game. And some of the calls he made in that one were just absolutely heinous, costing the Rams. Then you fast forward to 2023, the following year. They get Craig Rolstad in the Steelers game. The Steeler game, Kenny Pickett is stopped short. He rules a first down. Sean McVay can't challenge it. And in addition to that, they call a terrible penalty on Ahkello Witherspoon. I don't even remember what it was for, but point being, Rolstad screwed him in that close game. And then Rolstad had them again in the wild card game against the Detroit Lions, and they lost 24-23. He had multiple opportunities to call pass interference on the Lions or a late hit or a helmet to helmet. Instead, he threw the flag and hit Rob Havenstein with a hold call, put the Rams in a pivotal 3rd and 16, down a score. And they had to punt, of course, because they threw a bomb, or not bomb, but they threw it deep down the field to Puka Nacua, a hold, and no call. Lions win. So today, he had his moments. He definitely affected the game. Like his referee crew is always throwing the flag. I thought he affected it on both sides, but I thought mainly the Rams, as evidenced by the penalties. It is very interesting, to say the least. Now, looking at this, the Rams dominated time of possession. This is how you're going to win games in this league, especially Sean McVay and company. When you're able to dominate time of possession, this is how the Rams want to win their style of football. They don't necessarily want to score 4 or 5 play drives and put the defense right back out there. They want to dissect you. They want to hit you with multiple different plays and hit you with an 11 to 15 play drive and really suck the soul out of your defense. Both teams over 440 total yards. Rams had 457. The Bills had 445. The Rams 320 passing yards. The Bills 342 rushing yards. Both teams went over 100. Rams had 28 first downs to the Bills 25. As you can see here, 16, and keep in mind, 16 total penalties that were accepted. Decline penalties do not even count in the count. And this was ridiculous. And then the turnovers, 0, sacks, 0. Rams ran more plays. Here's the thing. When you start a season off the way the Rams did, you're banged up and all of that. It's hard to get out of it, right? It's hard. You lose a game that you shouldn't lose to the Bears. You lose a game that you could have won against the Packers. You lose a game that you had no business ever losing, looking on the schedule. Of course, the game was a little bit different against Miami. And now you come out and you win this game after getting embarrassed the last time at your stadium by the Eagles. And by the way, folks, this is the first time all year the starting 5, the desired starting 5 offensive line, they all played the next day. They all played the next game. We saw it against the Saints. Look at that Saints game. First half, 0 points, getting acclimated. Second half, they kicked butt up front. You see 3 touchdowns in the red zone. They carried that into this game. This is not a fluke. This is not a fluke. This is right back where they need to be. This is the Rams announcing themselves to the world, hey, we are back. We're ready to go. Get out of our way. And the defense, I'll say this, people are going to get on the defense. Defense isn't playing against Josh Allen every game. Let me make that very clear. Defense is not going up against Josh Allen every game. So I had 34-24 Bills. The Rams turn it into 44-42. That has to be a scoregami, right? For those of you that follow, I got to see if that's ever been. It's got to be a scoregami. I got to check it out before, because I'm going to lose my mind if I don't. Okay, so 44-42 is, it's happened before. Okay. Well, didn't know that, but that's crazy. Didn't think 44-42 had ever happened before, but it is not indeed a scoregami, meaning it is a score that has happened twice. This is the second time in the history of the NFL that this score has happened. So not quite a scoregami where it is, alone in itself, but for the second time in NFL history, we've seen a 44-42 game. Would have been 45-42, a little bit of a scare there because kicker Josh Carty slipped. I don't really know what happened, but he slipped and missed the kick. Really sucks, but hey, it didn't hurt them. They ended up winning this game. Sean McVay, really, really got to give him a lot of credit. Just tried all different things. The screen game is now working. You got it was just really what this game was just kind of an encapsulation of what Sean McVay's offense really is. You're going to use those screen passes. You're going to have those rub routes. You're going to use, those seam busters like the one to Cooper Kupp. You're going to throw to the flat. You're going to have play action. And of course, you're going to use those jet motions and jet sweeps and end arounds. And I just love the way he mixed up his pitches in this one. They only punted once. They punted twice, actually, but they only punted twice. And I was just really impressed. Altogether, the Rams right now, they're 7-6. This is a huge, huge win. I can't stress it enough. You guys already know that. The way it looks right now in the NFC West, of course, you have the Seattle Seahawks at 8-5, the Rams at 7-6, the Arizona Cardinals at 6-7, and the San Francisco 49ers at 6-7. The Rams have a meeting against all three of those teams left on the schedule. And of course, they have a meeting against the New York Jets to finish out the season. That is an incredible, incredible game. That is exactly what Rams fans deserve. After watching, staying up, going out to LA, traveling 3,000 miles to see Rams Eagles. I understand people are going to say, I bet you wish you were at that game. As long as it meant that they win this game, I had to go and suffer that Eagles Rams game. I am totally fine with it. What an incredible game. Unbelievable. And could be a real turning point for the Rams moving forward. We're going to find out, but next week, actually it's right around the corner. Short week upcoming. Be sure to check us out after the Rams 49ers Thursday night game. I will be here on Bleacher Report. Would love to hang out with you guys. Be sure to check out my social media at JK Bogan. And of course, be sure to follow me on all social media at JK Bogan. Check out this account, my Bleacher Report account, JK Bogan. And just want to let you guys know that I have a YouTube channel as well. So if you like this, I'm also doing a live stream on YouTube, the Jake Ellenbogen channel. You can just search my name and it'll come up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time. Rams win 7-6 on the season. First time getting above 500. Let's see what this means for the rest of the year.